Hi everyone, welcome to this video where I want to talk about my new Kickstarter, Until the Bitter End Tanks, set on the Eastern Front. The Kickstarter is live. On this video I've chose to use my preview version, but by the time you watch it, it will be live. So just a few things I want to highlight and draw to everyone's attention. So the Kickstarter page itself details all the game mechanics about the game. There's a whole bunch of videos that go through each of those. You can see some of the artwork that's in the game. I printed the game out, mounted it, made all the different components, so you can see some examples of that. On the right hand side as you scroll down is the actual pledge for the game. That will be in the currency that you have set on your Kickstarter account. So for me, being here in the UK, it's in Great British Pounds. But it will convert that into your currency for you, so you don't need to worry about that. That's the main pledge for the game, and then there are additional pledges for the game of this Kickstarter, plus a variety of my various other previous print and play games as well. And this page does detail those as well. So going back to the main page, you can see there's some mock-ups and photographs I've taken of the one that I've printed and made up. I've only printed in the videos and the photographs one map. The game will come complete with 6 maps, and probably more, because there are a whole bunch of maps on the stretch goals as well. So you can see here, for example, the contents. You get all the different tank counters, 6 maps, rule book, and the rule book covers the rules for both the 2-player and the solitaire game. There is some common mechanics between them, so for example movement and firing and things like that. But there are a lot of mechanics that are very bespoke to the solitaire, and on the page there are videos that detail all of those. You do not need to have owned, you don't need to own or have played any of the other games in the series. It's a completely standalone game. So for example, there's a video there that talks about the different contents. There's an overview video up here, so you can watch those if you like. And you can just take your time and peruse through. So for example, these are some of the AFE, the tank counters. These are just some of the maps in the game. And you can see here, for example, in this mock-up, that's a 4-map scenario. So scenarios are either 1 or 2 maps, or to 4 to 6 maps, depending on how much time and space you have. That's a 4-map example there. There are a whole bunch of stretch goals that I've included in, and if we hit all of those stretch goals, then I will keep adding in more and more. Then there's details about how the game plays, or the key core game mechanics. It is a chit pool game, and there's a video that explains what an average turn looks like, and all the things that you can do in that turn. Videos on how movement works, videos on combat. Some of the videos that I've included are from the first game, but they're still exactly the same in this game, so they're completely still relevant. Unfortunately, in the last few days I've hurt one of my hands, and means I'm unable to make a video at the minute where I'm showing examples of the game. But these videos are still super relevant and exactly the same, so the content may be a bit different, but the actual specifics of the rules are exactly the same. There's some rules about some of the mechanics that make this game different than a lot of other war games, such as the snapfire system and the bravery point system. Then we're into the solitaire game, and again there's videos about how the solitaire works, how it's different than the 2-player, how the AI works for the solitaire, and then finally there's a video on how to make your game. So it's a print and play game, which means you need to print out the sheets of counters, print out the map. There aren't too many to print out to get you going. And I've done a video a while ago that I used as an example of how I make counters. It's not the only way to make counters, but it's how I do it. So you can watch that and check that out as well. Then if you're interested, if you don't have any of my previous print and play war games, there's a little piece here about each of those with links to the Board Game Geek entry and the Kickstarter entry. So there's Until the Bitter End, the first game that I did, which is an infantry-based game. There's 2 of those, so some details about those. There's details there about the first Until the Bitter End tank game I did. This Kickstarter is obviously for the game number 2. That's game number 1. So you can look at some details for that. Again, check out the Board Game Geek entry or the original Kickstarter if you like. The Road Chosen, and that's a solitaire war game that I have done. And my most recent game. So if you missed that on Kickstarter and you'd like a copy, there's some details about that, and you can add those on either as add-ons in the pledge, or there are specific pledges for those. So you'll be set. If you do have any questions about the pledges or about the game, then just ping me on. Probably the best way to get hold of me at the minute is on Kickstarter itself. So please just direct message me on Kickstarter, or if you prefer Facebook or whatever means that you prefer, that's absolutely fine, and I'll do my very best to answer those. But the Kickstarter, when you watch this, you can see here it's not live. That's because, again, like I said, it's just a preview. When you watch it, it will be live. I will put a link to the actual Kickstarter page in this description for this video. So you can just click on that and that'll take you straight to the Kickstarter page itself. And like I said, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and ask. It's no problem at all. And again, as always, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody for their ongoing and continued support for all of my wargame project work that I do, whether it's my own games like this one, or games that I contribute to with other publishers and designers, or my YouTube channel itself, of course. So just want to say a big thank you for that. It's as you can imagine, it's a huge volume of passion and energy and work that go into these games, and I just want to thank everyone for just taking a moment just to check it out and see if you think it's a game that would be of interest to you. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, as always. Thank you.